Alright, so out with the Maxx. I have changed the servo on this, so I thought it had a the box says it's got the same size servo as the Xmaxx, so being stupid I presumed that meant the same size meant same power, but it doesn't. It's actually not as strong. It's the same dimensions. It's that massive servo that TRAXXAS like to use, but it's not as powerful as the Xmaxx one. So anyway, in my Xmaxx I have got a bigger, more powerful servo, which is also a TRAXXAS upgrade. So the TRAXXAS one I took out of the Xmaxx I've now put into this. So this has now got the standard or stock Xmaxx Servo, which is more powerful than what a Max comes with normally. So the steering feels exactly the same, but it is a stronger servo. Now that type of landing did for my last set of gears, so let's see what it's done this time. Sounds all right. So what I have done with this, I've fitted one of these things, which hopefully the camera will see. This thing here. So that's instead of the plastic one, so that should keep this a bit more rigid, and keep the gears, you know, aligned and less flexible, because normally that's plastic. So you're basically mounting your motor to a plastic debris, so that can flex. And there's the new servo. Hopefully you can see it. I'm not sure what the camera's doing, but that's the new servo. It's got a heat sink on it, which the other one didn't have. And yeah, and a new body, because if you remember on one of the videos I crashed over there somewhere and completely destroyed the body, so that was good. So I've had to buy a new body. So new servo, seems all right. New servo, new bit of gearing, gear sort of protection, whatever you'd call that. What is it? It's really the cush drive cover. So it's that thing that I've just shown you, that blue metal thing that holds down all of the spur and pinion. It actually holds it in position. It's like a top brace. So obviously on an Xmaxx, on one of these, when that's made of plastic, if you do land it bad, obviously that plastic can flex, I guess, and then that makes your gears go out of mesh, and then you strip your gears. So what this one's now got is hardened steel all round. So instead of it just being like a plastic spur, which is what it comes with, which for 600 quid is a joke, if I'm honest, but there you go. So it comes with a plastic spur, and that went. So then I replaced that with a hardened steel spur. But then I think the TRAXXAS Pinion gave up. So now I've fitted, courtesy of Simon Bryler RC, I fitted some hardened steel pinions. And I've actually gone one tooth down from what it comes with. So I think this comes with something like I should really know this, shouldn't I? I think it comes with a 25 out the box, or 24. Yeah, 24 out the box, because it's got bigger wheels than the original Max, because this is the wide Maxx V2 one. And this comes normally with a 24 tooth pinion to make up for the bigger sledgehammer tyres that this one's got. And it cogs, again in one of the other videos, I think I showed it cogging, so if you listen, that. And I've actually gone down another tooth. I think this is a 23 tooth pinion, and it's still slightly cogs. But what I wanted was a bit more immediate sort of acceleration. It's quite a fast truck. It just seems to take a while to get there. So I thought, well, I'll take it down a tooth and just give it a bit more, you know, a bit like putting it in third gear instead of fourth in a normal car. You know, it's just got a bit more immediate power. There you go, look. That was the plan. Probably go down another tooth. It's almost like it's overgeared, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's like it's overgeared for sort of top speed. And obviously top speed is unnecessary around this. You know, you don't really need that. You just need like go, don't you? Like sort of performance. And now these TRAXXAS ESCs, you can't change the punch, so you can't do anything to it. It is as it is out the box. So it's not like I can fiddle with the punch. The only way you can kind of alter the immediacy of the power is by altering the gearing or buying a different ESC, but I don't want to do that. I'm not that bothered. So just play about with the gears a bit, but this feels all right. Goes well, doesn't it? And that atrocious landing I did earlier, that's exactly what, that type of landing is exactly what did for the gears before. That kind of landing like that, or putting the brakes on in the air, you know, that seemed to get those flexing in that plastic mounting, but not anymore. So maybe we've solved it. Oh, and I've also changed the bulkheads. So I've done both rear bulkheads, because when it landed, when I looked at it, it never quite looked right, like a few millimeters out. So I don't know if I did something. And also, God, I forgot about all this lot. Also, that thing I've just been going on about, that metal cover that had stripped. So where I was screwing down the plastic one, and then I bought this metal one to screw down, the screws which go into plastic had stripped. So I think that landing did do quite a lot of damage. So I took the front and rear the rear bulkheads off, and I've changed them. So it's got two. I'm saying this like that's a massive job. It was quite a long job because I'd not done it before on one of these, but it was about 15 quid. The parts for these are so cheap. Yeah, it costs nothing, like a £15 job. But that now it's all super tight and super lined up at the back. The gears all look like they line up better. The mesh looks better. So yeah, so I think that nasty rear end landing that I did on about session number 2 did more damage than I really originally thought. So I'm a bit annoyed that I just did the exact same thing. That I did the exact same landing just then, but feels all right. Doesn't sound. Sounds all right. I've also firmed up the sides, so I've used some decorators caught like a special epoxy resin stuff to try and stiffen up the side bits so that they don't pop out all the time, which pisses me off. So you can see that it's staying in a bit better. So I've just made those a bit thicker, those side wings, to try and stop that from happening. Oh, you bugger. Don't like that, does it? Let's try it again. Oh! Oh dear. Definitely didn't like that. Luckily I missed that curb. Which, as you know, curbs are my arch enemy. That was wild. Right, here we go. Come on. It's a bit crazy. Turn up the traction control. See what that does. So I've turned that thing up, so that's the traction. So see if we can get it around here at speed. Of course, the MT8 just goes around this in its sleep. There we go. Clever, isn't it, that traction control? That's on 50% TSM. And it absolutely brought it in, didn't it? So you're going from tarmac up there, tarmac onto shit, then onto tarmac, then onto gravel. So it's like a crazy, but the MT8 can do that, no problems. This needs a bit of assistance from the traction control. Don't know why that is. Let's turn that right off. See if I can kill myself. God. I get to drive straight. Straight in it. Oh, yeah. It's not the most agile of trucks. Does yeah. Once it goes, you can't bring it back. One more time. One more time. Full pelt. Oh, just saved it. Yeah, the back end comes round. Back end comes round, and then you steer into it to try and correct it. Just give it a little bit of 25% TSM. Yeah, amazing. Clever technology, that, isn't it? Look at that. It's annoying when it gets stuck in this thistly stuff, but it does actually stop you from hitting the curb a little bit. Ow. Try and jump that. Here we go. Full speed. Whoa! That was good, wasn't it? Listen to the gears. Sounds all right. Body still pops off, but not as bad. It kind of pops off and pops back. I've no idea how. Well, I have, but you know. World's slowest backflip that failed. Might be when it lands on its roof, look. It must push it out, because that's brought it back, look. You can see. Just took it over. Yeah, it must be when it lands like that, it must push it. Battery's gone. So yeah, so gears are all right. So I think I've fixed that now. Took a couple of nasty crashes, didn't it? And hasn't done the mesh. Steering seems good. Auto control. But again, that could just be the car itself. You know, the type of car it is, rather than the servo change. Because you'd think that would give you more of an ability to correct as it oversteered. You think I'd be able to steer in quicker with that, wouldn't you? But could just be the surfaces. Strange combination. Look at tarmac and gravel and all that. But the MT8, you can do that. Oh, I can do that, and it's no drama. But this little thing, whatever reason, oversteers. So what's that? Too much traction coming in, probably too much speed, I don't know. Anyway, don't really matter, does it? But yeah, gears are good, gears aren't broke, so pleased with that. So success. So I hope you enjoyed it. Weather report, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Bit cloudy, but it's all right. So all good. Speak soon. Bye bye.